All right. Well, welcome to Voice Podcast. My name is Reed, and I'm joined always by
Danny.
And unfortunately, we're missing Elle today as she is at the manufacturing plant with
Rosie the Riveter.
Oh. Good luck to Elle today.
Or Rosie.
So this is Voice Podcast. You can listen to this on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast,
Stitcher,
and you can, pretty much anything
all
that
of
you can
them.
think of. Right?
I don't even know all their names.
No.
I think that was it, though.
You can reach us at 1677 if you have anything that you'd like to see on the podcast or you'd like to add into anything at all.
Have guest suggestions.
Yeah, and we'll gladly take your call any time of the week. Today we are talking to our friend Agum from the AMC program, and we're talking about how to fight a Canadian winter.
The worst kind of winter.
The worst kind of winter.
I think it's probably Russian winter, Canadian winter, and then everything
winter else. Yeah. Nothing
Winterfell winter. And then that's
Agum is an international student from India who came here last year and is about to journey to his second Canadian winter. So we're going to learn some tips and tricks of how to fight Canadian winter and gain some perspective on the winter blues. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
All right. Well, everybody, welcome back, and we're here with Agum.
Yeah.
Agum, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Awesome.
So Agum, why don't you tell us a little about who you are and what brought you to Canada and St. Lawrence, specifically St. Lawrence?
My name is Agum, and I'm the second year student of Advertising and Marketing Communications. What brought
It's a trifecta today.
Yeah.
What brought me to Canada? I have been fascinated to see, I have been researching a lot about Canada and fascinated to see the multicultural here, a lot of people from different cultures here, a lot of diversity, and it's a welcoming country.
Absolutely.
So that's what bring me to Canada. I was so much interested to pursue higher education in some other countries over the seas. I'm from India, so that's what brought me to Canada. And St. Lawrence College, I wanted to be somewhere which feels like a community. So I started.
You didn't want to go to a big city.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be in a small city, but with fair enough opportunities as well.
So sort of a mid-sized city.
Yeah. And that's what bring me to St. Lawrence. I researched about different cities in Ontario, and I wanted to be close to Toronto because I have a lot of friends and relatives in Toronto. So that's what bring me, my research bring me here at St. Lawrence College.
So a lot of them suggested that you come to Kingston, or was that through your own research?
Not a lot, actually, because a lot of people would say, no, there's not much opportunities. But I would say definitely, if you have ability to do, you can do anything anywhere.
And how did you so you say you were doing your own research to come to St. Lawrence. So I know that we have our international recruiters and everything. So did you talk to an international recruiter, or did you just research? It's I want to go to school in Canada, Ontario. Kingston looks cool. Let's go there kind of thing.
Not really, not a recruiter, but a counselor helped me, a consultant.
From St. Lawrence?
No.
Okay, so an independent.
An independent. So
no one from the college talked to you?
Not
you just kind of did your own?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he just given me some options that I can look on. I told him I wanted to be in a small city, so he just suggested some colleges, and then I just applied on my own. I just researched about different colleges, and then I picked St. Lawrence because I found really good stuff about it on internet, and also good reviews from students. So I just applied on my own, and that's what I do.
And here you are.
Yeah.
Here you are.
Awesome.
Very cool. So you've been here just over a year now, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, and did you get here pretty much the first day of school?
Yes. So I was here in August and late August, and the school starts in September. So
Wow.
Were you expected to find your own accommodations? Okay, so now you're in St. Lawrence, you're an international student. It's okay, see ya, go find your own place to live, or
how much support did you have?
Yeah, was there support from the college to try to get you established, try to get you going so that you could be a successful student?
So I was lucky enough to have a friend here who was from my hometown, actually from the same street I used to live.
Oh, that's crazy.
So he was like, he's my friend's younger brother. So my friend just called him and say, hey, Agam is coming up, so just take care of him. I went to his home and stayed there for like a month. And then he found me a new place to live, and that's how I did it.
Wow.
Nice.
The
Yeah,
connections
cool.
helps a lot. So
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
When you're such a personal person, right? So
Exactly.
you're able to get in front of people's faces and have
Yeah.
that big smile. And
thank you so much.
people reacted.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
So absolutely, if you have connections all around the world, you will be fine wherever you go.
So you've been said in Kingston for about a year,
Just over a
just
year,
a little over a
yeah.
year. So you've had enough time to explore, check it out. St. Lawrence as well as Kingston. Do you know of a great spot or a hidden gem that's somewhere in the college or somewhere around town? Not many people may know about it.
I have found a gem at college. I would say like it's for like people who are spiritual or like have to be in college and they want to prayer. And if someone wants it, there is a multi-faith prayer room at the St. Lawrence College on second floor that I found. I haven't been there, but I just saw all religion, faith, and it says like prayer room for everyone. And I found it interesting because like it gives you an opportunity to connect with other people, and it's a good thing. Like everyone should sit together and share their values.
Now, is this something that you discovered on your own, or did you find out about this right away?
I was just walking and I just saw. I didn't went inside.
Oh, wow.
And I had time, so that's what
Interesting.
Now, I think I have heard something about it, somebody talking about it.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things that's probably like mentioned in passing or through conversation. But
Yeah.
I haven't really seen it. Have you seen it, Reed?
I've never seen it advertised.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody really share the knowledge that room is there. Right?
Exactly.
Which I think is
Where is it exactly?
It's on second floor, down to when you go down to the Innovation Hub, you turn right. It's on the right hand side, just beside the washrooms.
Oh,
okay, so near the elevator.
Near the elevator.
So I
exactly.
do see people there.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and usually I just assume that they're coming from the elevator,
Yeah.
or the stairs or something,
Yeah,
right?
right,
But
yeah.
okay, so maybe I thought it was a classroom, so it looks like that's what it is.
Okay.
It's a multi.
I'd love to
faith
check
prayer
it
room,
out
definitely.
after this episode for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, very
For sure.
cool. So do you have a crazy funny story at all?
You gotta have one.
Coming to Canada, maybe. I mean, because you've done a little bit of traveling too outside of coming to school here while you've been in Canada. So do you have anything that comes to mind?
Not actually. I'm not able to like think about anything from past, but I can share today's story.
Yeah, sure. Today's story is a good story.
Yeah. So we went to the Raptors game last night,
Yeah.
and we were home at like 2:00 in the morning,
Right.
and I had to work at 8 in the morning. So
Not enough sleep. I don't care who you are. That is, and especially like when you're traveling, because you can get 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
But you're not rested.
Yeah.
You know.
because you had to get there by 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you had to be up what, like 6:30?
Yeah.
Oh.
So no sleep. No sleep for
at
Agum.
all. So I was lucky enough to catch some sleep on my way back from Toronto.
Okay.
But in the morning, the bus was there, almost there. So the bus just come outside my home.
Right.
So I was just grabbing my shoes in my hands and running to the bus, and I had my shoes on in the bus itself, and I forgot my phone at home. And I'm calling people from my laptop using Facebook.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think I'd rather forget my homework than forget my phone.
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely.
That's the first time I have like forgot my home.
yeah. You can apologize for the homework.
Exactly.
You gotta pay for that new phone.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and like after 1 minute, I figured out, okay, I forgot my home.
Oh man.
But someone's bringing it though, right?
Yeah, I called someone from my laptop using Facebook, so my roommate is bringing it to school. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. See, so there you go. You know, problem solved.
yeah.
Oh wow!
You're gonna get a lot of notifications when that phone shows up, right?
I'm actually checking it on my laptop.
Oh, right, yeah.
Not missing anything, but
Fair enough.
missing my phone.
Yeah.
It's interesting how much we have depended on technology.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my phone, it's like before I leave the house, it's like, I got my wallet,
Yeah.
I got my phone, I got my keys. All right, now I can go. You know, it's like the old Austin Powers, spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. Now I'm good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the big three is what I call it, right? Yeah.
It is.
So is there, if you looking back on your very first day when you came to St. Lawrence, is there something that you wish someone had told you on that very first day when you came here? Or do you have any advice for somebody that's in the same shoes as yourself, coming in as an international student?
So the very first day I came in for the orientation, and I just walked into, and there was a lot of people in the cafe, and I was looking for my program, and I saw advertising and marketing communications, and one of the third year student came. She was there holding up the sign saying advertising and marketing, and I just went and asked her, is this the advertising and marketing? And she said, yes, you're at the right place. So that's what I believe, seriously, I'm at the right place.
Yeah.
So she really meant it. And advice for students, I would say, get involved with the college and go out, make connections. That will help a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is
Be
something
engaged.
you're very good at, right?
Making connections, definitely.
Trying my best.
Yeah, wonderful. So let's get right into the feature of this episode.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're talking about the winter blues today.
Okay.
And we're talking about surviving a Canadian winter.
It's the worst winter.
Yeah.
The worst winter.
Yeah.
It's so cold. And winter happened way early this year.
Mm-hmm.
Super early.
Way early. And it happens, right? It sometimes
I wasn't ready.
It's
Nobody
rare.
was ready.
No. It happened sort of overnight.
Yeah.
And so coming from myself, I've lived in Kingston in Canada my whole life, so I've survived many, many Canadian winters. And the both of you are pretty fresh, new to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst for sure.
So I guess let's. So Agum, what was your first winter like? Like when you first saw the snow fall and when it first started getting cold. Like, tell us a little bit about your experience and your feelings with that.
So when I first saw the snow falling, I was amazed to see that. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful, but after some days, I was tired of it. And then I was like,
That's
okay,
usually how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay,
the
it
first
is
day it's
beautiful.
fun, and then the
Yeah.
second day it's like, oh well,
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
like,
here.
first
And
day-
then
Go away.
after a week.
Yeah.
The first day I was clicking pictures, taking videos, and sending back to home. And I still, when I
Did you make a snow angel?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You gotta.
So now as well, when I shoot or take pictures and send back to home, they are like, "Oh my God, it's so beautiful." I'm like, "You gotta get here and feel how it feels to me."
It doesn't feel so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man! And did you have a good jacket at least?
Yeah. So I was lucky enough to have a really good jacket. My uncle gifted me, who is from Germany.
Right.
Okay.
It's really cold here there as well, but not as
So
cold
you were
here.
prepared for this. Like you had a lot of friends telling you that like this is coming. So
Yeah.
you had your jacket ready. Like you had
Yeah.
everything ready to make sure that you were ready to survive a Canadian winter.
Yeah. I was told by a lot of people that it's going to be crazy. So
Right.
be safe and
Oh yeah.
And it was a little bit of a different story for you, wasn't it? Or-
absolutely
Yeah,
different.
okay.
Very, very different.
So tell us about your very first Canadian winter.
So my first Canadian winter, I had moved here from Hawaii. I hadn't worn shoes probably in 3 years because in Hawaii you don't even have to wear shoes. You can go into the
Going
grocery
from
store.
Hawaii to Canada is just that's
it was-
the exact polar opposite, right?
No, yeah, exactly. So it's like I said, I didn't even wear shoes.
Yeah.
It's board shorts, and so I get here and it starts snowing. It's not what I expected. You know,
It was right away for you.
right away. So I got here in 2015, and it was probably like sometime around September, October timeframe, and it was just light snow, not a lot, but still enough to be like, this is not what I'm used to. This isn't cool. I don't like this. So my whole first winter, I had a leather jacket, and some Vans. That was not warm. No, it was not. No, it was okay to go from my house to the car to wherever I was going, but I could not take a walk down the street.
Yeah,
you know, I couldn't do anything. Yeah. You know, it was a very miserable winter for me. I thought that I could survive it. You know, I was like, you know, the sun's out.
Right.
You know, it's like, it's got to be
And that was
warm.
pre you coming to Canada. You thought you could survive it, or was it the first couple days that you thought, oh, I can get used to
a little bit of both.
Right.
You know, and then no, it's just it's impossible. So slowly, you know, once that winter ended, there was a lot of like sales, you know, on winter jackets and sweaters and boots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I went and made sure that I got a jacket. You know, I got a few sweaters and I got a few, you know, boots and stuff like that. So for the next winter, I was definitely ready. I was not going to be cold.
Right. Okay. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah. And so I guess going on from now, a bit of a mental health perspective too. I mean, and one thing, going from one country to another and such a drastic climate change, that's pretty huge.
Yeah.
So
it is.
So when did it start feeling a little like dissatisfying for you and being in winter here? And how did you tell it? Maybe go into that little bit of story if you'd like to, and tell us how you were able to cope with that.
So like after around a month or 2 months, I was so tired because I had to take bus and I had to take like 5 or 6 minute walk. From my home
just to get to the bus.
Right.
To the bus. So
and it felt so much longer in the wintertime.
And also I went to Montreal during the New Year last year. So it was really cold at that time as well. And I went to like the downtown area at New Year's Eve. It was freezing rain at that time.
Oh, that's terrible. You know what I will say though about like Montreal and Kingston in general is that it doesn't matter how cold it is. It's like life doesn't stop.
No, man.
You know, it's
that's what I learned actually.
Exactly. Right. You know, just because it's cold, just because it's miserable, doesn't mean that, you know, people don't, you know, stop living their lives.
There are tons of winter festivities that are happening.
Oh, tons.
All over the place. And when you think about it, I mean, the sports season doesn't start until, you know, fall and carries through right into the springtime.
Exactly.
And there's always something to watch. There's always something to do. There's always an event happening. And especially in Canada, a lot of that's built around hockey.
Yeah.
But I mean, on the contrary to that, other people can feel like life is coming to an end when it gets so dark and it gets so cold.
Well, it is a miserable time. Like I find winter especially difficult, not so much because of the cold. The cold, you can always get warmer. You know, you can put another layer on. You can put a mask on if your face hurts, a hat, scarves. You can always get warmer, you know. But it's the sun going down, what feels like the middle of the day. You know, like this weekend, you know, it was like, oh yeah, the sun's out. You know, it's like I started doing all my things. I get, you know, I'm doing the work, my weekend work, you know, and then all of a sudden it's dark. It's like, okay, well now it's time to rest. It's time, you know, you know. And it's like, oh no. It's not time to rest. It's still the day. Still, I haven't even made dinner yet.
Exactly.
And
bedtime's not for another 5 hours from now.
Exactly.
And it's gonna keep happening throughout this next month, right? Like it's gonna get darker and darker as the days go on. And so daylight savings and all that kind of stuff. Like is that what's the daylight like where you guys are from? Like is it kind of similar in that sense, or is this just totally foreign to you guys?
So okay. Where I'm from originally, no, daylight lasts longer, you know, even in the wintertime, you know, but only maybe by like an hour or so.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it doesn't feel so...
Feels like an appropriate
and
time.
it feels like an appropriate time. But yeah, I don't feel like that dread.
Right.
You know, when the sun goes down at, you know, like 6, you know, 7. You know, it doesn't feel so terrible here. You know, the sun's down 5 o'clock. You know, it's like dark. The street lights are on. You know, 7 o'clock. It's and it feels like it's late. It feels like I feel like a bird. You know, you put the sheet over the bird cage, you know, and they go to sleep because they think it's dark or night. You know, same with me. You know, it gets dark. It's like, well, time to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's still got the rest of the day.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what about you, Agum? Is this totally out of the ordinary for you?
So I'm from India, and over there's no time change at all. Like they don't change the times. So it get darks in winter, like get darks around 6, and the sun rises around 7. I would say it's the same.
Right. Okay.
But after changing the time.
Right.
So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you feel about it? You've been with this your whole life, where the time changes, and then now all of a sudden you go from beautiful, bright, sunny evenings to like pitch black 5 o'clock.
It really depends on the year. You know, again, like I'm so used to it. Like I just anticipate seeing this come, and it's funny because even this year, like it's just when it happens, it's sort of like, wow, where'd the time go?
Yeah,
it sort of does just creep up on anybody. But there have been years where, you know, I dread having that come because I love the summertime where it's light out all the time, and I love being outside and in warm weather. But for me, I take a different approach to it. I like to see, because I've been through so many Canadian winters, I try to highlight some of the good moments that I've had during the winter time, and you know, like holiday parties and sort of friends gathering, or going to certain events, and just think about those moments. And if you can do that, then you can kind of get that little bit of a nice warmth feeling almost going through that. But again, you know, I have so many friends and family that, you know, they dread the winter coming up, especially, and it's a lot of it has to do with the darkness of everything. Like it gets.
I think that's what it is, because it's the cold. If you think back at it, it's really only cold like February. It's really like the coldest, the worst month. After that, it's cold, sure. Yeah. You know, but it's manageable. Yeah. It's the dark. Yeah. You know,
and then all I love is like when it's later half of winter comes into the spring, it's lighter and lighter and lighter, and like you count down those days a little bit, right? But in terms of the cold itself, I mean, you know, it's doesn't get any better. Like it's still just as cold, and it's getting colder. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
this year is crazy.
Oh yeah, it's nuts, and especially being right by the water, right?
Like oh yeah, definitely. It gets
cold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I guess, but for me, just trying to stay positive, I guess, is the biggest thing, and think about those good memories that you have during the winter time. So,
is there any anything that you do, Agum, like during the winter time, to kind of like take your mind off, or like is there something that you do, you know, that's like, well, there's a lot of things that you can only do in the winter, but what kind of things do you like to do, like outside, take you out of the moment, out of the winter moment, that you like to do?
I like to stay inside a lot and stay warm actually.
There's some nice hot cocoa.
Yeah, rather than going outside. And I like cooking a lot of things and spicy food and all that stuff.
Spicy food's the best.
Yeah. And so that's what I do. And I travel a lot, and I stay inside.
You don't like going outside? Have you been skiing or snowboarding?
I don't, but I'm planning to do.
There you go.
At Banff.
Yeah. What about have you tried ice skating yet?
No.
No?
Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, well they got that nice skating rink at the square.
Okay.
Yeah, it's free to go.
Oh, awesome.
So you can just get your skates, and you should definitely go. You know where else is really cool? I haven't done it yet either. The Rideau Canal. Have you?
Well, I've been to the Rideau Canal during the summertime, but I've never skated on it during
Ottawa?
winter.
Yeah, in Ottawa.
I have been there a couple times in summer, but I will definitely try it out.
Yeah, that's I haven't done it either, but I've heard or I've seen pictures and I've seen it looks amazing.
It's very Instagrammable for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just skiing right there on the river. Right.
Yeah. Well, Gum, if do you have any other tips or tricks at all, or?
I would say like be kind to everyone.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, and be engaged, be involved, and be up for any opportunity you get.
Wonderful.
Because that's what you will achieve, and that's what help you a lot.
And Danny, what about you? Like, is there anything else that you think that what keeps you positive?
What keeps me positive? Friends, family. That's what keeps me positive, you know. But mostly the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, it's because winter is dark, winter is snowy, and it's cold.
This too shall pass.
But this too shall pass, right? And winter has actually some cool aspects about it. You know, Christmas, New Year's.
Yeah.
You know, that's cool. Like Fort Henry, they have the lights. You know, that's fun. Ice skating, that's fun. So, you know, even on the lake, last year was the first time that I noticed that you can actually go out and skate on the lake. I saw people on their snowmobiles,
I saw that.
windsurfing and things like that. So like back to my earlier point, it's like just because it's winter doesn't mean that life has to stop.
Yeah.
You know, so the things that I like to do kind of keep me positive is just remembering that it's going to be over, you know, staying warm. And then, but also like not stopping life, you know, just keep on going, keep doing, you know, it's like, I ride my bike in the summer and springtime. So it's like now I roller skate or ice skate,
right.
You know, or just find things to do. You know, it's like snowball people. I don't know.
Always
you know?
think of the positive
exactly.
side of winter. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
And also Christmas doesn't like give you full pleasure without snow or without winter. It doesn't feel like Christmas.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, without winter.
Yeah.
I've had Christmas without snow my whole life.
I've had many green Christmases myself.
Oh,
right?
okay.
You know, it happens.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
yeah.
it sometimes it doesn't snow here on Christmas Day.
Oh,
right.
okay.
So it'll happen, but it still feels like Christmas when you're staying positive and you're with your friends and family.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, it's perfect.
Exactly.
Well, Gum, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having me.
I think we gained a lot of great perspective.
Thank you so much.
Into this, and
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks.
All right. And that was a Gum surviving the winter.
Well, that was great. Now I'm glad you both could pitch in because you're both international students, right? You
Yeah.
can pitch into what that's like for a newcomer to face the fear of a Canadian winter.
Because it is scary. It is a fearful experience.
It can be traumatic. I mean, you're going from one whole other part of the world where the climate is so different to where we are here today, where
no snow.
Yeah.
The only snow was like in a cup, you know, when you eat it.
Yeah.
You know,
and I can totally see how people can't even fathom what it's like to be living here when it's wintertime.
Yeah, and which is so weird. Like when I started living here, it's just like you always knew or always heard about the winter. Oh, the winter is the worst. You know, it's so cold. It's so you know, snowy.
You get those pictures of people chipping off the ice side of their windshield.
Exactly,
right?
right? And while it's not entirely not like that, it's also not like that, right? I mean, and then the summers are so beautiful and they're green and they're actually hot. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's so weird to see because I always thought just snow all year.
Yeah,
you know, but so
igloos and
exactly.
No internet, nothing.
No, yeah. So
it's all hunting and fishing up here.
Oh, thank God, I would not survive if that were the case. But yeah, you know, it's great that you know, now that I'm living here, it's not so bad as I had thought about it. You know, it's like I said earlier, you know, it's like you can always get warmer.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not the worst, and life can't stop just because it's
well,
cold.
and like as you said, like life keeps going when winter happens, and it's all about just staying positive and making sure that you can have yourself some fun in the wintertime.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, so. you got to get out of the house. You got to get out of the funk. Just because it's dark, take a flashlight. I don't know, but it's you know. You just got to get out. Life can't stop because of winter.
Absolutely. So thank you for listening to this episode of Voice Podcast. My name is Reed. You can find me on Instagram handle at SneakyPig1.
I'm Danny, and you can find me on Instagram at no middle name 13.
And again, you can reach us at our extension 1677 if you wish to have a request of a topic to talk about or any kind of thing that you want to pitch into this podcast.
We are all ears. We will listen to all comments and suggestions.
Yeah, and so upcoming episodes we have
with the nursing students.
So we'll be talking about that next week. And what else there, Danny?
So we got Christmas time is coming up, New Year's, so you got to stay safe. New Year's is, it's you don't have to stay sober, but definitely stay safe.
Stay safe.
Stay
safe. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Exactly. Just know what you're doing. Have a plan. Have a backup plan and even a third plan, but always have a plan when you're going out and you're going having fun. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be talking about that in the next couple of weeks. So
for sure.
Stay tuned. Thanks, folks.